Hi, I'm Carrie and welcome back to the College Cash series, where we talk about all things preparing to go to college, what to do while you're in college, and maybe even a little bit of what to do after college is over with. So today I'm going to be telling you the things you do not need to take to college. Most of these things are not tangible items, but more so mindset pieces.
My name is Carrie, I'm so very fly, oh my, it's a little bit scary. Boys wanna marry, looking at my diary. Hey, you can stare, but if you touch it, I'm a berry. Pretty as
Okay, so the first thing on my list of things not to take to college is a printer. Your campus will have printers on campus. You do not need to take up your dorm space or your apartment space with the printer that you're going to need to refill at least once a month. Most colleges printing does cost, but if you do go to a school where printing is free and maybe colors cost, definitely do that instead. You do not need a printer, especially if you are going to be printing a lot. You don't want to have to spend $40 to $60 refilling ink, and then those printers do malfunction a lot, so that's just a headache you don't need when you can just rely on your college resources to pay for your printing. And also, if you have an on-campus job and you work for a department, you probably could print using their print credits versus your own student print credits, so keep that in mind. Family heirlooms. You do not need to take family heirlooms to college. If your grandmother gave you a necklace, you do not need to take it with you. You don't know who your roommate's gonna be, really. You don't know the environment, and it's just something that if it means that much to you, you probably don't want it on a college campus. It's just a distraction and it can cause stress that you don't need. You do not need to be worrying about grandma's necklace. You need to be worrying about them grades and the education. Another thing you do not need to take to college, number 3, is your life savings. I work in financial aid currently, and there's been students coming in with lots of cash just in their dorm, in their book bag, and it's like there's no way that you feel comfortable walking around with this amount of cash on you that's unaccountable for and untraceable if someone else were to get their hands on it. So do not take your life savings to college. Have access to a budgeted amount for every academic year, every semester, which one you feel more comfortable doing. I can make a video on that as well, on how to budget while in college and different methods for that later. But you don't want to deprive yourself of resources, but you don't want to take everything you have, especially physically, or that someone else maybe could access through your technology or your information to college. Because granted, everybody's going to college to learn. Some people are more technological advanced, so there's hackers and coders that go to college too. They know how to do this skill, they just need the degree behind their name. So especially because you're not on a safe, secure server with your own personal information, so you don't want to have complete access to those things, whether it be physical or digital. A bad attitude, number 4. You do not want to take a bad attitude to college. If you don't know your why when you're in college, every little thing will irritate you. So figure out why you're going to college, what's your purpose, and keep that in the forefront of everything you do. You're going to meet so many different people from so many different walks of life, so many different cultures, ideologies and beliefs, that you don't want to have a bad attitude, because you may cut off bridges before you even get a chance to form them. So make sure that you have a positive attitude in everything you do. Understand what your purpose is, but also be flexible to learning new things and meeting new people. A relationship. Girls, do not take that relationship, and I know y'all probably, I'm not the first person to say this, I know you've probably heard it before, but do not take that relationship into college. I'm saying that from personal experience. Leave it at home, especially if he's, I was gonna say especially if he's going to a different college, but no, especially if he's going to the same college as you. Leave that relationship, cut it off in the summertime or before graduation, or whatever you feel like you can do, but do not take that relationship into college. Even if you feel like that's your forever person, let time continue to tell you that, versus you trying to force something, because college is a place where you're going to change, they're going to change, you're going to learn new things, your interests are going to change, the way you look will even change, and the things that matter to you will change as well. So you don't want to be managing a relationship, a romantic relationship, as a first year college student. Yes, I'll just leave it at that. Too many plants. Like I said, the same way you don't need to be caring about that family heirloom, the same way you do not need to be caring about that money or that significant other that you have currently. You do not want to take all those plants to school. Even if you have a green thumb, get you one or two, or maybe even leave your collection at home and get you a new one when you get to school, so that way you can have it throughout your journey and you can monitor it that way. What is going on? My phone is buzzing. It's my mom. So yes, I got a bamboo what year was that? Sophomore year of college, and I still have said bamboo, and said bamboo has died off, regrown. I've killed it a couple times and brought it back, so that means something to me versus me having transported all of my personal plants to college. So it will gain meaning if you just do one. You don't need all those plants. This one may be a little touchy, so I'm going to go in non-judgmental and open. Do not bring your germs or your bad nasty habits to school. So I know everybody is not raised the same, but especially if you're going to be in shared bathroom, community bathroom, you want to make sure that you are as cleanly as possible. You want to give the same consideration that you would want someone to give to you. And maybe I'm just saying this because I hate public restrooms. I hate going in using the bathroom after somebody. So common courtesy, I'm gonna say that. Have common courtesy. Get you some toilet spray, or look at the toilet after you're done, because it's been plenty of times where I've gone in a public bathroom and there was remnants of what happened in there left on the toilet. You're gonna be sharing your space with so many people, so away from that, but onto your germs. So if you're sick, that's one thing I hated about college, is everybody was always sick all the time. I ended up moving off campus because I did not want to be sick with the population. And they just, this is a me problem. I know this is a me problem, so I'm going to get to my point. I'm going to cut it short. Be cleanly, be courteous, and be intentional about what you leave of yourself behind. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Self-doubt. Leave that self-doubt on the highway to school, on the plane ride to school, the train ride, bus ride, whatever way that you are commuting to school. You want to leave that self-doubt at that gate. Leave it at the gate. Prep yourself up during your whole travel time, and once you get off that mode of transportation, you can be who you want to be. Whatever somebody told you couldn't do previously is out the window. You've made it this far. You are capable of everything you want to do, as long as you are willing to put in the time, effort, and a little bit of sacrifice to get it. So, Jesus, I apologize. I don't know. Social anxiety. I know we live in a time and a place where that is the first excuse that people go to either excuse foul behavior or to give an excuse of why action is lacking. So social anxiety is coming from a little bit of that self-doubt that I told you to leave. It could be a lack of confidence, and then of course there's a chemical aspect of social anxiety as well. So I do want to be sensitive about how I say this. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody knows you. Nobody is zooming in to your pores. Nobody can see the embarrassing moment from your previous life experiences. So how you choose to move in college when you're going where nobody really knows you, especially if you're going to a large university, the social anxiety has to go out the window, along with the self-doubt, in order for you to prosper. You can't be scared to make connections, and I hope that there is soon here a social shift where being social. I'm using social a lot. And the English language is crazy. Brief intermission, because social means so many different things, and I hope that you all are following what I'm trying to say. So if you need to take this time to reinvent yourself in your first year of undergrad, do that, because you're gonna miss out on so many amazing people and so many amazing opportunities and so many lessons if you continue to be consumed by your social anxiety. So that kind of ties into leaving behind who you used to be. If you used to be a failure, you were lazy, you smelled bad, you didn't care about your inner health or your outer health, you can take this time to literally just become who you want to be. I think it's important to notate that multiple times, because we all have these preconceived ideas on what college is going to be, but it's going to be what you make it out to be, and it's going to be based on who you are. Reckless spending. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. I don't know how else to put this. Just don't be spending money on things that are temporary, things that you won't be able to fit in 2 years. I'm saying all of this from experience. Like, do not just be spending your money willy-nilly. Once you know why you're in college, get your base necessities to fulfill that purpose. Of course, you can treat yourself to things. Okay, so in a way to decrease the reckless spending, because I know you're going to need everything for your dorm, everything for your hygiene, everything for your wardrobe, so on and so forth. Get your necessities and then create an award system. Excuse me, create an award system for yourself so that you can splurge and get those other things like some new shoes or a new outfit. I'll make another video on financing and how to get money in college, but I do want to say this: if there's something that you want, don't spend your own money to get it. Spend somebody else's money. You can milk your entire family and community for cash and resources on the notion that you're going to college. So if you can relate something that you need or want to an interest of a family member or a community member, they'll most likely probably support you in getting that. So if you have a cousin or a friend's mom who loves clothes, and you're like, oh, I just want to reinvent myself a little bit before going to college, they give you some gift card to somewhere to aid in that. So don't feel like you have to use your own money. Procrastination. Don't fall into that same trap of, oh, it's not due until, or I don't have to be here until. You want to wake up, prepare for your day, know what your day consists of, and get to it. The more you wait, there's so much that happens in college. Events will pop up, parties will pop up, opportunities will pop up, meetings with advisors, faculty, staff will pop up. So you want to make sure that you're staying ahead of the game so that you don't end up being stressed out. And the next one is leave behind low expectations. This is your college education. You're either paying lots of money to go to college, or you've worked your butt off to get the resources you need to pay to go to college. So with that being said, the low expectations, leave them. Leave it right there where you left that low self-esteem and that social anxiety, and you want to burn it. Put it in a trash can, light it up, and burn it. This is an investment that you're making in yourself, so you should be getting everything you think you should be getting out of it. With that, understand what college is at its core, which is an institution of education and opportunity. So making sure that your goals are in alignment with where it is that you're even at. And then the moment that isn't working for you, then you need to figure out, is there a better alternative to what you're receiving? So that's something like transferring schools or changing your major or something like that. And this last thing, I'm gonna say it and then I'm going to take it back. Rain boots. Do not take rain boots to school. But if you're going to the school in the Midwest, take rain boots. So rain boots can double for snow, and of course like the rainy and flooding season of the Midwest. But Other than that, that just comes down to knowing the climate of your school. Do you even like rain boots? Do you have adequate sock to wear these rain boots with? Does it fit into your wardrobe and all that kind of stuff? So it's kind of up in the air. It's definitely something that maybe you can take for the season and then take back home once the rainy season or snowy season is over with. Get some good quality ones, especially if you are going to be on a large campus where there's lots of walking required, because you don't want hurting feet and you don't want wet feet. All right, that has been all for what not to take to college. Stay tuned for more. I'm gonna call this the College Cash series. Even though my name starts with a K, I have a hard time pronouncing things with like a C or a K, which I think is interesting. But anyways, so send this to someone who is gonna be either a first gen student or just a first time freshman in the fall. Yes, more to come. I thank you all so much for being here and listening to me, and I hope that you all learned something today. I'll see you next time. Bye.